Today we are going to walk through the process of turning your ordinary 100% polyester fabric into spectacular one-of-a-kind 3D Shibori fabric. 3D Shibori is a technique that puts objects into bound fabric. When the fabric is put under heat, it results in warped textures, contoured lines, and unique 3D prints. Get creative with the objects that you place inside of your fabric. You can use glass marbles, stones, cookie cutters, bolts, coins, and anything else that can be placed in boiling water. The sky's the limit. To make this 3D Shibori, you'll need a small or medium-sized pot, a spool of thread, scissors, and a ruler. For this tutorial, we will use glass craft stones and 100% polyester fabric, as it yields the best and most reliable results. You can use other fabrics like poly blends and other types of polyester, but we recommend that you test a swatch of your fabric first before you use it in your larger scale project, especially if you have plans for the Shibori being in prominent places. We'll start by preparing our fabric. If your intended use for the finished 3D fabric is size critical, for example, you're using it in apparel sewing, it's recommended that you do a swatch of fabric first and then check the size. Cut your fabric piece either according to the sewing pattern you are following or the swatch size you are testing. We are doing a square swatch of fabric for this video to demonstrate size comparison of the fabric before and after the technique has been completed. Let's cut an 8 by 8 inch square out of our fabric. Once we have cut out and measured our square to ensure the dimensions are correct, we can pick up our glass craft stones and thread and start wrapping the stones in the fabric while securing them in the thread. Start from the middle and work your way to the edges. Use the thread to wrap each section into place. You might be tempted to cut your thread for each piece, but it's easier and less of a pain to clean up at the end if you just use one continuous thread to wrap all of the sections. Once you've wrapped all of the pieces into the fabric, you're ready for the next step. Pick up your small to medium-sized pot and fill it with about 3/4 full of water. You want your fabric bundle to be completely covered by at least an inch of water. Place on your stove over high heat and bring to a boil. Once the water is boiling, carefully drop your wrapped fabric piece into the water. Reduce heat to a medium-high or whatever setting will keep the water boiling without causing the water to boil over. Boil the fabric for 30 minutes. Once the fabric has boiled for 30 minutes, carefully remove the fabric bundle from the pot with a spool or kitchen tongs. Immediately rinse the fabric bundle in cold water to stop the thermoplastic molding effect. You can even let the fabric soak in the cold water for a couple of minutes just to ensure that your bundle is completely cold. You can remove the thread and objects from the fabric while the fabric is still wet in order to have a looser design. You could also wait for the fabric to dry completely before removing the thread and objects for a tighter design. My fabric is wet because I was excited to see the outcome of my 3D Shibori. Carefully trim the thread from around the objects. If you used glass or ceramic inside of your fabric, take extra caution removing the objects, as the boiling water may have caused the glass or objects to break. This is usually a rare occurrence, but it should still be noted so that you don't cut yourself. Once your fabric has been unwrapped, you get to experience how amazing your fabric looks. Give your fabric swatch or pattern piece a final measure to compare sizes. My fabric started as an 8 by 8 inch square and ended close to a 7 by 7 inch square. Now you can continue to experiment with other objects or different fabric types, or move on to a larger 3D Shibori project with your fabric pieces now that you have a size scale. We'd love to see your 3D Shibori makes. Thanks for watching.